Come on. Warm up. What are we gonna do?
We're here at SuperTraining Gym, and the way that we like to warm up for the bench press is to utilize movements that get the joints warm. So when I think about a squat, think about a deadlift, you think about the joints that are involved. When you think about the bench press, we're thinking about the joints that are involved. So today, these guys are gonna be involved, the elbows, we've got the shoulders gonna be involved, and actually there's a little bit of hips involved too, so we'll move around and maybe even do some squats and just try to open up the hips a little bit, maybe even stretch a little bit, God forbid. But real basics of it are gonna be, we're gonna do some dumbbell bench press, maybe a little bit incline dumbbell press. We're gonna be doing some tricep push down, some curls, and some rotator cuff. Sounds like a lot of work, but get through it really quick, and it's gonna be very, very light, done with high reps and low rest. Yeah, just a short range. That's come to like your stomach each time.
See, before I was doing this, so then there's a little gap here.
That's right. Yeah. You should have a lap there, but I don't know what you've been doing. I don't know what you've been doing the last several years. I'm doing a bench competition coming up, so I like to use these competition plates just because some of these other weights, we weighed them in here, and some of them are like 46 pounds.
Yeah,
some of them are 40.
Right? The Olympic ones?
Yeah, some of them are 44 pounds and stuff like that. So. What have you found feels good when you're down at those weights? Like not the real lightweight, but like when you're like 170-ish.
I still bench every single time, even though I just suck it up and understand it's going to go down. But I'll usually kind of stay around 275 for like sets of 6 or 7, right around there.
I always think it seems to work out a little bit the opposite of what people think. I think a lot of lifters are like yourself; they go a little heavier when they're lighter. You know, they still try to push heavier, even though it's a new definition of heavier for you.
I'll still do my 315. You know, maybe once a week instead of twice a week, and I'll see the reps go down. I'm still trying to do it. You know,
Michael Hearn has a really interesting point of view on that. So he does, when he's dieted down for a show, he said that he should still be able to do what he can normally do for like a set of like 8 to 10. You know, everybody's real different on this, but he could still at least grind it out for 1. He's like, it's unacceptable to me that I can't do, something that I was doing for higher reps at one point. Now I can't.
I would say like 75% of the strength should stay for squat and for bench for me at least.
It's a good rule of thumb. That means you're keeping the muscle mass, right? Keep in mind he has a bench shirt on underneath this, and elbow sleeves, and knee sleeves, and 2 belts. That's your 1, 2, 3 out. Play sports and stuff?
I actually didn't really. I just enjoyed the training aspect, and that kind of got me introduced to bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And showed me, a little bit more of the.
That's cool. So we'll do 1 rep here. Good 6 or 7 years old where you were throwing on the Sling Shot.
Yep.
I think real early on,
I'm
too.
definitely going to incorporate that.
2011,
13,
something?
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Sling Shot. So this is a bench press tool. Pretty much you use it, it helps you lift more weight essentially. So a Sling Shot, he also sent me some wrist wraps. These are kind of like all-purpose wraps. You can use them on your knees, elbows, wrists, and everything. And also like a hip mobility thing, which is over there. But I'm gonna go ahead and try this out for the first time. I have 275 on the bar, decently heavy weight. So let's put it on and see how many we can get. Here we go.
Going to battle every step.
That's right. 1 rep. 1, 2, 3 up.
Here we go.
Stay tight with it. There we go. Good. Tight all the way through. Yeah, there we go. Good. Basically, what these things do, these are called weight releasers, and I've been a fan of these for a long time. They've been around for a long time, and a few years back, nobody was making them, and so I contacted Rogue Fitness and told them they needed to make them. And so they made them, and so here they are. I think you can still buy them on their website. And why? Why would you use this? Well, you're stronger eccentrically than you are concentrically, so you can take advantage of that by using a product like this, where we can have a little bit more weight on the bar. This will be 470 something pounds at the top. And I lower the weight as the weight gets closer to my chest. These things should release off the bar. And when they do, then it will be back to 405 pounds. That energy is stored in my body. That's elastic energy. That's called kinetic energy. It's stored in my body, stored in my system. My body still thinks there's 470 pounds on there, but now there's only 405, and then so boom, I'll press it back up.
So they actually fall off.
They come off completely.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Unless it's a 2.5. 2.5 space out.
Or you'll start fire.
Wait,
So Mark's got a story for you.
what if you're not using calibrated plates?
Not using calibrated plates, not in the meet, you're just in the gym, and all plates should go facing inward. However, there's an exception because of the 2.5 pound plate. So when I was a kid and I was working out at Mid-Hudson Bodybuilding in Poughkeepsie, New York, first of all, every time I lifted, I couldn't do anything right. Like, they'd always take the weight off. They'd like throw the weight on the floor when I was lifting, and I'd turn around and my weights would be stripped, and they were like, you don't know what you're doing. And so I'd always ask them for advice, and they'd show me how to bench and stuff like that. But I was using some 2.5s, and the guy goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. He comes from running up from the other side of the gym. And he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm trying to do what you just showed me. I was trying to keep my chest up and bench. He goes, no. He's like, rack that weight. Put the weight back, and it's like 2.5s. He's like, 2.5s have to face outward. He goes, thanks to you just started a fire in Poughkeepsie. And I was like, what the hell? So he changed the plates out or wherever I do my workout. Me and my brother are driving home, and sure enough, here comes the fire truck behind us. and they're going to a fire in Poughkeepsie. So
plate,
we were like,
plates always go facing down.
we were like, hey man, that wasn't coincidence, you know. It wasn't coincidental.
The belt before the Ammonia or after the Ammonia?
Probably before.
Before, probably.
Yeah.
You want to get the music working?
All right.
All this stuff on your wraps and everything.
Yeah, get everything.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I feel like this is probably my last one.
This is the set that you have to earn.
Earn the next plate?
Yeah, if you make this look easy, you got to make it undeniable for you to get that next plate.
All right. Let's do it.
That's how we work.
Pop in the cherry.
I've never used that one before. You just twist it, right?
You just snap it in half and
Snap it.
right in your face.
Just like
Yep,
close.
right up in your face.
Whoa!
Okay.
Come on. That went straight in my right nostril only.
You guys are doing assistance exercises, back off sets, anything that's not the main movement anymore. This is no longer the main movement. This is exercise number 2. This is what I always refer to as a secondary barbell movement. When you start to do exercises like this is when you have the opportunity to actually think about what you're doing. You actually have an opportunity to think about the exercise that you're doing. And remember this, if you can't think about it, it's going to be really hard to make progress on it. If you can't think about the exercise that you're doing and how to execute it, it's going to be really hard to get better at it. So think about, I'd like a lot of you guys and girls out there that follow strength, that follow fitness, think about lifting weights better rather than lifting more weight. And it will still result in you lifting more weight. It's almost like the focus that we've seen in the fitness community on strength. A lot of people have been going after strength and not focusing or not getting too worried and too concerned about their aesthetics. And then what has happened? All these men and women are looking better than ever because they've focused their attention more on their performance. So really try to focus in and hone in on how you're doing stuff and not so much on just really being so overly concerned with the weight that's on the bar. 3, up.
Yep, come on.
Come on.
Up. A little amount of people can even touch 4 plays. He's doing sets of 6, 7, 8 reps. 1, 2, 1.
Let's do 1 rep. 3, up, out, release.
Press!
Nice.
Never held 4 or 5 on a bench before, so obviously this is gonna be hardest at the top, at the lockout. I'm gonna see if these croissants can handle it.
Come on, Christian, here we go.
Go, dude. Come on.
Go.
Come on.
Yeah, buddy. Still listening to a press call. Here we go.
Big
Keep
chest,
that
big
back
chest.
side. Here we go.
Big
1,
chest.
Come on,
2,
Christian.
3, up, out, release. Press!
It honestly helps a lot. Helps all of our benches. Just moving that weight, holding it, locking it out. Gives your confidence
360
a lot.
pause was, I've never done that.
That's
all.
big.
Yeah.
Pause changes a lot.
I've never even tried pausing.
Yeah, because it sucks.
Yeah.
Because it can't do as much.
Right. So what it feel like? Did you like expect 4 or 5 to feel like that?
To be honest, I always thought 4 or 5 would feel a little heavier, but I've never really used a slingshot in recent years. So I feel
Right.
like it just really, like, out of the hole, is easy. You know, it's
Yeah.
just that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm proud of
Something
it, though.
about even unracking 405
Yeah.
though, just the because
Just
that's all
holding it up
that's
here.
all you.
Yeah. And I'm like up there. I'm like, okay, if I had
Yeah,
no
too.
slingshot right now, I'd be screwed.
This would come down record speed.
Right.
If something specific you want to show me that you learned that's
I'd love to
bodybuilding-ish,
just
or-
hit a tricep.
Let's do it.
Tricep.
Let's
yeah.
do it. Let's do it. Yeah, you pick. I'm gonna.
Is your favorite grip that thing? The
You can
thick
use
one?
whatever you want.
Receptacles.
You're doing your exercises. A lot of times on assistance exercises like this and shaping movements, you like to really flex and contract at the top of the
Oh,
movement.
I hold it for, yeah. I don't even give a shit about the weight, to be honest.
Right. Arms are like 3 inches bigger than you walked in.
I know, I feel great.
We've got to both be able to walk around like this all the time. So every half hour we got to come in here and do a 2-minute set for the rest of the day.
Do a dog crap set?
Really fun. Getting a good training session in here today with Christian Guzman. Somebody I've known for quite some time, and unfortunately we haven't had a time to hang out. So when I hit him up and he was coming out to the LA Fit Expo, it was good to hear. He was like, yeah, I think I'll come up after the LA Fit Expo, and so we've been in contact since then, and it's awesome finally getting here to SuperTraining Gym.
Glad I could come by. A lot of fun.
Yeah, how'd you like, doing some different stuff today? Like we had you just work up
Yeah.
on some max reps, and you train pretty heavy anyway.
I
But we
loved
had to
it.
do
It was
some
a lot
singles and
of
stuff.
fun too, though. You know, that's the
Yeah.
thing. I think a lot of sometimes your training will kind of be missing is maybe you're not having that excitement. So that was a lot of excitement today. Just having everyone cheer on too. Man, you're like, let's get. Yeah, I don't have that normally. You know,
Right.
I kind of just put my headphones on and go do my thing. So that's awesome. The vibes in here are amazing.
Yeah, a lot of times you end up training by yourself pretty much, right?
Most days I'll train by myself. Yeah.
I think that bodybuilding can sometimes get that way, because especially when you're dieting, like you're like, no one understands what I'm doing, and it's this weird thing, and you feel isolated, whether you are or not. I mean, you just feel like you're on your own little island when you're doing that, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you do. So yeah, especially deep into it.
Yeah, and you don't have much calories in your system and stuff. How'd you like wearing like the strong sleeves and stuff like that today? And
I really like the
wrist
sleeves.
wraps and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've used wrist wraps on and off,
Yeah.
and I just feel a little tighter. I feel a little
Yeah.
bit more secure, and
Right.
I really like I'm gonna start using those a lot more.
Cool. And what about
Longevity.
and what about that sling?
I mean, that's gonna build me up, right? Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah, for the first time he was able to handle 405. It's a device that helps you overload, and you guys know I'm the inventor. I created the thing, and so I'm always going to be pumping it out to you guys. But aside from that, I really do believe that it can help a lot of you guys and girls out there that have been trying to get stronger and that have been trying to do that weight. The method that is utilized, the product is new. The Sling Shot is new, but the method that's utilized has been around for a long time. It's just a theory of overloading, trying to handle more weight, getting your brain, getting your body used to these heavier weights. People have done it with partial range of motion movements forever, rack pulls, pin presses on the bench press, just holding weights statically. People have done all kinds of movements like this for a long time. The method is also referred to as the future method. I think Louis Simmons coined that, and they used to use bands. They'd put bands to the top of their rack. And the reason why I'd call it the future method is he believed that by overloading, by doing that, it's weights that you can handle in the future. So potentially, we can get somebody like him to end up hitting a 405 bench, or even just a PR bench of 380 or whatever your best was, So that's the way I like to utilize the product. Is it's a device to overload, do more reps, more sets, things like that.
Love it. Thank you, Mark. Now we got a podcast. We're gonna do some more stuff, right? Yeah.
You have any questions on anything we did today? Because like the warm up was a little different. Like we did a little bit lower rep ranges and stuff like that, and then the rest periods were different for you for today.
Yeah, rest periods is very odd because, you know, you would think that the long rest periods, I was kind of feeling cold in between sets, but when I would get on the bench, because of the way we acclimated, I felt fine. Where normally if I were to just take really long breaks but warm up how I normally do, which is I feel like a lot less warm up, then I'm cold. Then I don't feel ready for that heavy weight. But whatever we did today, these warm up sets and acclimating up like we did, I was actually a lot less reps acclimating. I'm normally, you know, 135 for 12, 15. I go 185 for 8, 225 for 5 or 6. So it was much less, but the way we did it was to prep for a single. And it was awesome.
And I definitely wouldn't recommend that traditional way of warming up when you're trying to go heavy. I would rather people warm themselves up on something else, even just walking on a treadmill or going on a bike and maybe even doing like a couple sprints, you know, light though. Nothing that's really going to pull away from your energy reserve, but get your heart rate up, get your body temperature up, and then get to the movement. And if you're going to do any higher reps or you want to try to move quickly, you can do so through the lighter weights. So you could do the bar like 20 reps if you wanted. You could do 95 for 10 reps and so on. And you can kind of blaze through those and go pretty quick. But as soon as those weights start to get heavy, if you bench around 300, as soon as you get that 225 mark, you got to really start to pay attention to your warm-ups, to hit those properly. Otherwise, you won't be primed. You won't be ready for those big sets. I've seen it time and time again where people end up missing out on a weight just because they didn't take their time with their warm-up. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here at SuperTraining Gym. Strength is never weakness. Weakness is never strength. Catch you guys later. I usually punch the camera, so I'll punch yours and punch theirs. Boom.